So in this video, I'm going to show you how to design something like a bookmark in which part of the printed image is actually cut out and pops up right in the middle, just like this one does. So the first thing is we're going to just pick something to be the bookmark, and I just picked a rounded rectangle. I think this one was a little different. It's rounded there and more square, whatever. But basically this is your bookmark. This is the background. And I've taken this bookmark, sized it, and then over here, let me pop out some of these panels. Over here on the position and size panel, I selected to page, and then I centered it so it was like right in the very center of this page area here. Then I brought in an image, and then I'm going to add a guideline. I have on the document panel over here, you can see I have show guidelines marked. So mark that, and then you're able to drag down a guideline. And I'm going to put this guideline right in the very center, like right about 5.5, so that it's right in the middle of the bookmark. Then I imported this bird image, which is a transparent PNG, so it came in with the cut line. And if you're using a JPEG or something, or your PNG doesn't have a transparent background, then you need to go ahead and trace this image using the trace image window. But most of the time people have these transparent backgrounds, and so they can just import the PNG and the cut line is going to be there. But anyway, move this image wherever you want the cut to begin. And so I moved it up so that the cut would be like around here, roughly middle, but it doesn't need to be, because if you look at this other one, it had some, just kind of the very top of it is what's going to cut out. So that's, entirely up to you, wherever you want that cut line to be. So now then, and of course I've got it centered left to right on the page, not necessarily up and down, although it is, but the thing that I wanted was to make sure it's centered left to right, so that it'll be right in the middle of the bookmark. And then of course you can add more stuff, and you could add some wording and whatever you want printed on the front of your bookmark. All right. Then the next thing is and by the way, it's probably a magnetic bookmark. That's probably why it's designed that way, because it's, it's meant to kind of close up and snap, onto the page. Anyway, I digress. So back to my image. So I'm going to come over to the layers panel. Let's pop that out. And I'm going to ungroup this because I don't want to necessarily lose my image. And if you start doing a lot of changes and using some of these functions, you can lose the original raster. So I'm going to go to, with this selected, my imported clip art here, I'm going to go to Object, Ungroup. Then I can come in and I'm going to both hide and lock these. I'm going to leave the bookmark there, but I am going to lock it so it can't be selected currently. Then I'm going to take this cut line that I had, and I'm going to give it on the fill and stroke panel, I'm going to give it a stroke color so that I can see it all the time. So I'm just going to click on color, and that way I now can see the image. So basically what I want to do is I want to just cut this image across here so I can delete this bottom part that won't be cut out, and it will only cut out this upper part. So to do that, I will zoom in. I'm going to click this little zoom tool and zoom in close so that I have a lot of control over what I'm doing. And then I come over to the knife tool, and the knife tool is this one right here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the bottom. But anyway, when you have your mouse over it, it says knife. Select that. Then I come right over to where this line is, and you're just going to hold the mouse down. And so I can start basically outside this bookmark area if I want to. I'm just going to hold down my left mouse button and drag this across and get it nice and even. And that's close enough. It looks like it's a little bit off, but it's pretty close. Just like that, let go, okay? Then come back to select mode up here. Then I can select this bottom part here and delete it. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to add a fold mark in the middle of this bookmark. So that fold mark would come from here to here, and then skip this part here because this part's just going to pop up straight. You don't want it to fold, and then come across the other side. So to do that, we come over to the draw tool, which is this one right here. It looks like a calligraphy pen, and you left click, and then we're going to come right over to the edge here. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I can't remember. I don't know if I had this one locked, this particular layer. I think I did. Yes, I've got it locked. Yeah, make sure anytime you're getting ready to use a draw pen, make sure you lock any layers that you don't want to be touched by it. So that means I also need to lock this this one right here, because I don't want it to become part of this cut line, because I want it to remain its own separate line. So lock the things on either side so that when I draw across here, it can't snap onto any of these things. Now then, again, I've got the draw tool, and I come over, and this time I'm going to hold the shift key. The shift key will keep the line perfectly horizontal when you're using this tool. So I left click, come across here. When I get right to that where the the bird's head starts, I left click and press the enter key. And then if it seems like it's just a tiny bit too high, you can select it and then use the nudge icons on the position and size panel. This right here, I can just nudge it down until it's right on top of that guideline. Then I'm going to scroll across over here so that I can see, both sides where I want to do the drawing again. Select the draw tool again. Start right where that bird's head is. Hold the shift key, left click, come across here, left click, press the enter key, go to the select mode, and then nudge it down. Just like that. Okay. Then let's kind of zoom back out again. And I don't need the guidelines anymore, so I can hide the guidelines. And then these two new layers, these two new paths, I will take both of those. Let me drag this over. I will select each one of these two, hold the shift key, select both of them, and I'm going to give them a different color just so I can see them. And then you can assign those to score. You can assign them to draw if you're using the Solo scoring tool. Whatever you need those to do to create that folder. Maybe you're doing a perforated cut, whatever. I'll leave that up to you. But I'm going to just go to Object Group so they're together. And then I can right-click that, and I'm just going to call it Fold Line. There we go. I still can't spell it right. Typos, typos. Only when you're making a video, right? Okay. And then now that I can come and unlock these things, and of course our print layer, this is the bird, it should be set to, on the style panel, it is set to print only, which is what I want. This one, this cut line, and then the outer cut line, kind of depends on what you want. This cut line you wouldn't want to be printed, so I'm going to leave it to print plus cut only. This one you might, if it has a color, like if you have some other graphics on it, or if it has a background color of blue or something like that, if you want to print it, then you would set that one to you would leave it at cut so that it would both print and it will cut. You wouldn't want to use either one of these. But basically that's just your basic assignments of how you would want certain layers to cut and certain layers to print, etc. So anyway, I think that covers it. If you have any questions, let me know.